Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Rewind the Tape. I'm none other than your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by my co-host Ben. How are you doing?
Doing well, can't talk. I'm doing fine. Excited to talk about this one. This is a fun movie, man.
So, for those who don't know, we are watching 1994's Speed, which was my first time watching it.
And
I really enjoyed it. Now, I don't know if it's one that I'm probably going to revisit as often as, say, like a Twister, which I really loved, but I will be revisiting it. I had a great time watching it. It was great to see some actors who, you don't think about, like certain character actors that I recognize, like the lady who got blown up.
right, who is that?
She is a character actress who, oh God, give me a second. She was into Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. She was the one that gave Phoebe the can that had the finger in it.
Right, that's where I know her from. Okay.
Yeah, there's that. She's in a lot of stuff that people recognize. Give me a second here. Yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff. Miss Kettlewell in Child's Play 2. That's right. She was the teacher that got beat to death by the meter stick. Which is one of mine and Taco's favorite kills. She was also in City Slickers 2, which I don't remember her in there. If I'm being 100% honest. But yeah, no, she's a very prolific character actress.
I'm trying to think, who is she? And don't forget, she was, not her, Alan Ruck was also in this.
Right, of course, Alan Ruck, who kind of made it a thing in the 90s. It feels being in disaster movies. But yeah, he was pretty fun in this, playing the tourist.
He was that making 90s douchebag in this. That's what I like to call him.
Pretty much.
And don't forget, Jeff Daniels coming straight off the heels of Number Number.
Right, which is really weird because you can't get any different than that.
Well, think about it. 94, same year as Number Number.
Yep.
Jim Carrey did 3 movies that year.
Right, he did. What I mean is, like, I'm talking two different, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
And
he was really good in this. I liked him as the bomb expert.
And Joe Morton.
That's correct.
Terminator 2.
Yes, Terminator 2 and Emil Hamilton in Smallville.
Right, the Shanky guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was another Emil Hamilton at the end of the series, wasn't there? The doctor.
The one who sang one of my favorite scenes in Smallville season 10, when he's saying
when he did Elvis.
When he did Elvis with Tess.
Yeah.
Great scene.
I don't remember the song.
How we knew, or what we knew, or something like that.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, who else is in this? Yeah, I mean, and it reminds me of one of Sandra Bullock's first movies.
Well, this was after Demolition Man.
Really?
It was, but this is the movie that made her a name. This is the movie that made her.
I wonder, do you know, was there a behind the scenes reason why Keanu wasn't in Speed to Cruise Control?
One, partially because the script sucked. And two, he was filming another movie. I think it was like scheduling conflict or something like that. Yeah, it was a combination of things, but yeah.
Well, you got William Dafoe in that movie, right?
I've never seen it, and I really don't want to watch it. I'm not good with the first
one.
I think it's one of the worst sequels ever made.
Yeah, that's why we don't have it on the list.
Yeah, and of course it's got Willem Dafoe in it, so go figure.
Really, we like William Dafoe. Come on, man.
Of course, he just looks. I was just looking at pictures from that movie last night, and he looks creepy as F.
Every time I hear William Dafoe, I think of that scene in How I Met Your Mother when Marshall makes fun of him.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, so it is time to hop aboard the bus. All right, in a downtown Los Angeles office building, a security guard is checking the basement when he runs across a man tinkering with some wiring. Asking to see a work order, the man suddenly stabs the guard in the ear, telling him nothing personal. Hold up, before I continue, we totally forgot Dennis frickin' Hopper.
Oh yeah, what a great '90s villain in this.
Oh, great 90s villain, but one of the greatest actors ever. The dude's career literally stretches back to Rebel Without a Cause. Like, this dude has been in great movies, has worked with some great actors. This dude is a legend.
One of my favorite things about his character in this movie, I don't know if you noticed this, and I only noticed this when I watched the honest trailer when
Okay.
this when they came out with it. Whenever he's on the phone, he talks like on the phone with his opposite hand, like this, rather than doing like this in this movie.
No, I never really thought about it.
He just has a little thing in it. I don't know if it happens in other movies, but it happens in this. Interesting.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it next time I watch it. All right. A group of people who work in the building are taking an express elevator down when a few explosions are heard. The cables are severed, and the elevator plummets a few floors before the emergency brakes stop it. Now, I saw this, I was like, what the hell are we in for? Holy shit.
Yeah, there's nothing more terrifying than elevator mishap.
Oh god, yeah. And actually I was stuck in an elevator once for about 2 hours with a bunch of people.
Holy crap. What happened?
Oh, I think we might have just exceeded the weight limit, possibly. I can't remember. I was 15 when that happened. It was in our hotel elevator on a band trip downtown Vancouver. And I'll never forget, one of the guys was flirting on the phone with the lady on the emergency line. Another guy took it off his shirt because it was so hot, and then he like pressed himself. Actually, it was the same guy, and he pressed himself up against the elevator door, and the imprint was still there like that night. We've spilled out like a clown car, and I remember I'm on the very bottom, and I look up and I just see the band director just doubled over laughing at us. Oh my god. Big time.
I thought you were going to say the guy took off his shirt and then the doors open.
No, well, with this guy though, I mean, like nobody would have been surprised. He's one of those guys. Yeah, good dude. Good dude. He was best man at one of my friend's weddings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where was that? The Los Angeles Police Department dispatched their Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT team, including Hotshot Officer Jack Traven and his partner Officer Harry Temple. They joined their team, and their boss, Lieutenant Herb McMahon, briefs them all on the situation. Bombs have already severed the main cables, and the only thing keeping the elevator from dropping to the basement is the emergency brakes. But the bomber has wired them with explosives and has given a 1-hour ultimatum.
Hold on. I'm sorry to trail on this.
Let me finish the sentence first. Pay him $7 million or he will blow the brakes. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not on me. Jim Daniels, and two different characters, yes, I know. Jim Daniels' character's name is Harry in this.
Yeah.
That is the same name as number.
Son of a bitch. Probably not done on purpose, but
no, I know. I didn't realize that. I was like, no, maybe no. Yeah. Wow. Man, I'm getting without knowing. He's not that dumb.
No, definitely not. Both Jack and Harry use building access panels to examine the bomb. Harry, the SWAT team's bomb expert, said the work doesn't look familiar, but the bomber is definitely a professional. While they wait, Harry quizzes Jack. Jack is at the airport when a woman is taken hostage. The kidnapper is almost to a plane. What does Jack do? Jack suggests shooting the hostage with a non-lethal wound so the kidnapper can't take them with him. Harry scoffs, telling Jack he's crazy for the idea of shooting a civilian. Foreshadowing. Musing further about taking the hostage out of the equation, Jack suddenly comes up with the idea to use a window cleaner's crane on the roof as a way to hopefully help get the passengers off the rigged car. However, the mystery bomber has bugged the express elevator and is listening to everything the pair say and do in an empty freight elevator nearby. Suspecting something is up, he blows the emergency brakes and the elevator begins to plummet.
Oy.
The crane cable stops the elevator for a short time between the two floors, where Harry and Jack manage to get the passengers unloaded. I thought for sure that the last lady was going to die.
Well, that's the point of the movie. Didn't get you like that.
Right, but that's a trope that most other movies like this would do. I like how they didn't do that.
Right.
When Harry manages to load Harry notes that the explosives happened 3 minutes earlier than the time limit given. Jack suggests that the bomber is nearby, while Harry tells them that the bomber could have set off the charges from miles away. Harry suggests the bomber will want a stable bow. With the main elevators having been shut down, Jack deduces that the bomber must be aboard a freight elevator in the building. Harry and Jack soon find the freight elevator, and they try to get to him, but he also has bugged the outside of the freight car and hears them coming. The bomber, Howard Payne, although his name is not yet known at this point, wow, whoever did this is really thorough, starts shooting at them with a shotgun, dropping Harry into the elevator car. He uses a control device he wired to the car's control panel to raise the car to the top of the building, forcing Jack to jump into the car before he is squashed by the roof. Payne is about to shoot Jack, but has run out of ammo. He quickly shows that he has wired himself with explosives and holds Harry hostage before Jack can get a clean shot at him. He uses his device to trick Jack and Harry's team into thinking they're getting off on a different floor, but they arrive at the parking level instead. Payne attempts to take Harry with him to the building's parking garage, but Jack, recalling the scenario he and Harry had discussed earlier, I love this scene, shoots Harry in the leg, preventing Payne from taking Harry any further and causing Payne to drop him. Payne makes a dash out the door, but before Jack can get to him, the explosives go off, knocking him back. Sometime afterwards, a commendation ceremony is held in which Jack and Harry are congratulated for their services and are given medals for their valor in saving the hostages and stopping the bomber. Harry is promoted to detective and put on desk duty till his injured leg heals. Yeah, I just love how he's just giving him shit throughout the whole ceremony. He's like, I can't believe you shot me in the leg.
It reminded me of something, but I can't. It kind of reminds me of that episode of Castle when Ryan who shot Asmo in the ass.
Ass by Esposito, or the other way around. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Funny stuff.
The pair go to a bar where they and their colleagues celebrate their victory. An inebriated Harry tells Jack to be more cautious in his work because his recklessness could get him killed. The next day, Jack stops into a small coffee shop for a drink. As he goes out to his car, a bus that has pulled away explodes and bursts into flames. A payphone nearby rings, and Jack is surprised to hear Payne's voice on the line. Payne explains that he had spent 2 years planning the elevator job and chastises Jack for ruining his life's work. The bomber then goes on to explain that he has planted another bomb on an LA City bus, which will be armed the moment the bus passes 50 miles per hour, and then will detonate at the bus. The bus drops below that speed. Payne. Wow, I saw Payne and I immediately thought Ryan Payne. Wow.
Oh wow. And by the way, it's his birthday today.
Oh, well, if you're watching or if you're going to watch in the future, happy birthday, Ryan. Right on. Payne also explains that if any passengers are removed from the bus, he will detonate it himself and demands a ransom of $3.7 million, the same amount he demanded during the elevator kidnapping by 11 a.m. Furthermore, he knows that the bus's radio is out of order, so alerting the transit authority is useless. Payne gives the bus number 2525, and Jack takes off to catch up to it. Jack manages to catch up to the bus en route, but when he frantically tries to get the bus driver to open the doors, the driver ignores him, thinking it's a prank. Jack then commandeers a Jaguar and again catches up to the bus. This was another great scene with the Jaguar. I love the guy who owned it.
Yeah, he looked familiar. Do we know anything about him?
He didn't look familiar to me, unfortunately, but the dude is hilarious, his reactions.
Yeah.
After a mad struggle, Jack manages to relate to the driver that there is a bomb on the bus and manages to board, jumping from the moving car into the bus's door. Harry is also alerted by Jack through the Jaguar's owner's cellular phone. Jack attempts to calm the bus passengers, but an altercation with one man wielding a gun, fearing that Jack has come to arrest him, forces a struggle and the bus driver is shot and wounded. A young woman named Annie Porter takes the fighting to hit the brakes. Jack sharply orders her not to stop the bus and informs the passengers about the bomb. At the suggestion of the injured driver, Jack opens an access panel in the bus floor and finds a decoy and then the real bomb, which is alarmingly large. Relaying the info to Harry, Harry is perplexed at Jack's observation that the timer for the bomb is attached to a cheap gold watch. Harry's suspicions turn to the prospect that the mad bomber may be a former officer, and he has his staff start looking over information about officers who have worked with bombs or in bomb squads.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner, Johnny.
We're getting there. Back on the bus, a traffic jam on the freeway forces Annie to divert the bus into city streets instead. There, with an LAPD helicopter following the bus with Lieutenant McMahon on board trying to arrange a survivable route, the occupants of the bus have a terrifying ordeal as Annie and Jack must deal with every conceivable obstacle that threatens to fatally slow the bus as it is forced to careen through the streets. These include being forced to take a one-way lane against opposing traffic and a collision with a baby carriage that is sent flying but is mercifully only carrying empty cans.
That was a funny scene.
That was a good scene because I thought, oh shit, it's a baby. Like it went dark.
It went dark, and but it was only cans.
Exactly. Eventually, a police escort arrives to guide the bus to the unfinished and empty 105 freeway. The first entrance, a soft right turn, is blocked by a group of school kids crossing at the worst possible time, and Annie and Jack are forced to make a hard right turn that nearly spills the bus on its side and was busted by Mythbusters. Once on the freeway, McMahon and a number of officers board a flatbed truck that pulls up next to the bus. McMahon wants to get the people off, but Jack explains that the news helicopters in the air are televising the event, and that Payne will detonate the bus if anyone gets off. Jack soon receives a call from Payne in regards to what is being seen on television. Jack manages to get Payne to agree to let the wounded bus driver off, though Payne tells Jack that the wildcat behind the wheel is not to slow down.
Foreshadowing.
Right. I didn't catch it, though. I didn't catch that at first. The driver...
you wouldn't catch it.
Exactly, right? And even then, that did clue in when they showed the logo on her. Spoilers, when they showed the logo on her sweater, I still didn't get it because I don't know college sports.
Me neither.
The driver is taken off successfully. However, a passenger named Helen gets edgy and attempts to get off the bus. As she stands over the entranceway stairs, Payne sets off the smaller charge and destroys the platform. Helen falls under the bus, is crushed under the wheels. This was a sad moment. During a few moments of relative calm, Annie tearfully confesses that she was profoundly relieved that the blast was not of the main bomb and she herself survived. Jack reassures Annie that it is a perfectly normal human response to an extreme situation and she has nothing to regret, while reminding her that the real person to blame is the bomber who put everyone in this situation in the first place. And he was 100% right.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. McMahon is then informed that the 105 freeway is unfinished and a stretch of roadway ahead contains a 50-foot gap. Jack is informed of this, but still refuses to take any passengers off. Desperately, Jack then instructs Annie to increase the speed, figuring there may be an incline that will allow them to jump the bus over the gap. Miraculously, his plan works, and the bus makes it to the other side intact. Now, fun fact, this was actually done on a completed bridge, and they just CGI'd it out.
Really?
Yeah. Well, there's no way you could get a bus to do a jump that big in real life. I don't think.
No, maybe that's what Mythbusters should have done.
I think they did it as well. I think.
But you go ahead, you go with on topic the countdown last week. That was some great use of CGI, man.
I didn't know it was CGI, so yeah, I wouldn't have been able to put it on the list. Anyway.
Yeah.
McMahon is then informed that it's okay. Jack then instructs Annie to increase the speed, figuring there may be an incline. Son of a bitch. Once over, Jack finds an off-ramp that leads to Los Angeles International Airport. Annie takes it and enters through an airport exit, running over a pair of spike strips that blow a few of the tires. Jack's plan is to keep the news helicopter cameras from following them. Because the airport is restricted airspace, they can't fly over it. The long runways that are not in use will not also allow the bus to circle and keep it out of civilian traffic, and buy time until they can find Payne or deactivate the bomb. Lieutenant McMahon soon shows up at the airport with some more cops, and Jack convinces Payne to let them disembark to negotiate the ransom, which Payne agrees to. Jack reassures the passengers that he will be back shortly to help them. Jack gets off the bus on a vehicle with Lieutenant McMahon, who feels they should be able to unload the passengers safely, but Jack is still convinced that Payne will know, leaving only one option: disarm the bomb. To the passengers' alarm, Jack has arranged to put himself onto a small wheeled dolly attached by a cable to a small truck and sent under the still moving bus, hoping to dismantle the bomb under guidance from Harry and the bomb squad. Now, this was a stunt.
You don't think they were really killed on doing it, do you?
I know he did some of his own stunts, but I don't know if he did that one. I wouldn't think they would. He did. I think it was a pro did that one.
Well, okay.
Well, no, the reason why I think that is just honestly that is such a dangerous stunt.
That helps your point.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines during the scene is from Alan Rook, and he's disappointed because he's like, "Oh dang, somebody asked him why, what?" He says, "Well, I already been to the airport."
That was a good line. Yeah, I did thought that was a good line. He's like kind of bummed out. He's like, "Aw, we seen this." I wonder if he ever went on vacation again after that.
Well, no, but maybe he took a day off.
Maybe.
Wow, you missed that completely.
I did, yeah, because I switched. I'm sorry, I switched the screen to the synopsis. I missed if it was anything visual.
No. I knew maybe he took a day off, and then I went to.
Yeah.
I feel weak.
Anywho. However, Payne has fitted the bomb with a collapsible circuit, and Jack is unable to disarm it. Harry is still thinking of alternative ways to disarm the bomb when his associates come back with Payne's identity. Payne turns out to be a former member of the Atlanta Police Department's bomb squad who was forced into early retirement when a bomb he was disarming exploded, burning his hand and costing him a thumb. Harry and his associates rush off to apprehend Howard. Jack soon comes close to death when the cable towing the dolly he's on gives way, and he is almost run over by the bus. Jack clings onto the undercarriage of the bus, but accidentally punctures the fuel tank with a screwdriver. The passengers on the bus help Jack up through an access panel on the floor, and he survives. With leaking fuel a new problem, Jack calls for a fueling truck to pace the bus and refuel them. Meanwhile, Harry and some other members of the LAPD SWAT team that weren't at the airport have staked out and entered Payne's home. They soon find he is not there and that has booby-trapped the house with explosives, which they trigger upon entry. The house explodes, killing everyone inside, including Harry, which was unfortunate.
Now, I remember seeing that for the first time, and I'm like, "Don't go in the Harry, don't go in the Harry."
Yeah, me too, because it's like, oh, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
After the bomb goes off, Payne calls Jack and gloats over Harry's death, saying it was his old watch that helped Harry identify him. Payne then gives Jack instructions to deliver the $3.7 million ransom to a garbage can at Pershing Square downtown, mentioning that everyone on the bus will die if he doesn't get his money, referring to Annie as a wildcat again. Jack has a meltdown over Harry's death and is unsure what to do next, accepting that Payne might actually win. He suddenly notices the sweatshirt Annie has been wearing, which contains the logo of the University of Arizona Wildcats. Jack realizes that Payne has been monitoring the bus through the security camera above the bus driver's seat. Though the camera can record video, it cannot record audio, which is good. Jack radios over to McMahon regarding his plan. McMahon gets all the news vans nearby to stop taping and commandeers one to find the signal going into the bus camera. With everyone sitting still in the bus, the news team records them, gathering enough footage to run a video loop to fool Payne. However, Annie notices that the fuel is almost empty, and McMahon is forced to have the tape loop with only a minute of footage having been recorded. An airport bus is brought alongside bus 2525, and the passengers are unloaded. However, the tires that had been punctured once the bus went through the airport's exits continue to lose their treads, and Annie and Jack are unable to get off. Jack affixes the steering wheel with some rope, the gas pedal with a steel pipe, and the two escape from under the bus using the access panel. The bus drives a ways off before heading straight in for an empty cargo plane. As the speed drops below 50, the bus runs into the plane and explodes.
Boom!
I felt bad for the guy who was driving the tow truck.
Oi! Oi!
After the passengers are treated by paramedics, the police receive a call from Payne wanting to know about the money. McMahon is about to tell Payne off, but Jack realizes that Payne does not know the bus exploded, giving them the advantage to capture the madman. The money is placed in bags and dropped into the garbage container Payne had specified, with a couple of paint bombs among the cash. A number of officers, including SWAT units, patrol Pershing Square, with Payne watching from an overhead building's window. Payne thinks he's won until he notices the bus camera and realizes that the tape is on a loop. And he quickly puts on his Payne quickly puts on his old police uniform and, blending in with the other officers, walks over to Annie and escorts her away from the scene, saying that he's been sent by Jack. Jack and a number of officers are watching the garbage can, but no one has appeared. Jack then suddenly demands they turn on the homing beacon with the money, and all of them are surprised to see that the money is in motion. Jack rushes out to the garbage can and finds that there is a hole below it into the pavement, leading down to a level under the street. Jack drops through the hole below street level and is confronted with Annie strapped with explosives and Payne standing nearby holding the detonator. Payne chastises Jack a bit before making his way to the Los Angeles subway station, with Jack jumping aboard as it pulls away, crawling across the top. Payne handcuffs Annie to a pole and shoots and kills the train driver. Payne then explains his plan to Annie. He intends to get off the train with the money, but leave her to explode, leading the police to believe that they both died at the subway. Now, this was a great scene. This was actually a pretty good scene.
Oh, I love the climax.
He's like, drop the trigger,
Yeah. Hey.
Payne's overzealous nature gets the better of him as he hears Jack climbing on top of the train's car, playfully claiming he may be able to bribe Jack into letting him go. Payne reaches into the sack of money, only to set off the hidden dye pack bomb, ruining the money and covering him in purple dye. Enraged, Payne then climbs up the side of the train car on the outside and goes hand to hand with Jack. As they fight, Jack notices a low overhanging light approaching and holds Payne's head up while seizing the detonator to Annie's bomb from Payne. The light decapitates Payne and his body falls off the car. Now, this I was not expecting.
This is not the way to get ahead in life, my friends.
No, it is not. Jack then enters the car and manages to get the explosives off Annie. However, he does not have the key to unlock her handcuffs, and when Payne shoots the train driver, some stray bullets hit the control panel, rendering the brakes inoperable, of course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, isn't that the most obvious thing?
Yeah. A rail map shows Jack that there's a sharp curve ahead. He speeds up the train with the intention of derailing it. The plan works, and Annie is freed from the bomb. The train barrels out of an incomplete stretch. The train barrels out of an incomplete stretch of track right in front of the Chinese theater in Hollywood. It lands on its side and comes to a halt. None of the workers on the subway tunnel are hurt. Annie and Jack are both alive, and as they kiss, a number of tourists and others whom the train has stopped traffic for come over to look at the strange spectacle. And credits.
I love this movie. I love this movie. It's everything you want a 90s exploding movie
Exactly.
to be.
And the best part, it lives up to the hype.
Right.
Lives up to the hype. All right. So I actually have very limited time left, so let's bring up the wheel.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, dude. I'm sorry. I should have had this done before. Fuck you.
Every time somebody says that, I always do that. Okay, so what do we have on the wheel, Ben? You want to read it this time?
We have Godzilla. We have Godzilla vs. Kong. Oh, we don't have to mean Face Off. The Mummy. Karate Kid. Karate Kid Part 2. The Goonies. Tingle and Cat. And we're back to Godzilla.
Okay. So what do we do if we hit speed? Do we just re-roll?
It's been a good. It's been a
All
good.
right, go for it. Let's see what we're watching next week. Come on, Karate Kid. Oh, even better. Goonies.
All right.
And so now that Goonies is off the board, I get to replace it with one from my list.
Yeah, you do.
Because that was not one of the original ones. So I will think about something to add on to it next week. So the Goonies. I will say this is a movie I did come to late as well, but I watched it in my 20s, and it's been one of my favorite kids movies ever since. I love this movie.
And one of the actors is making a comeback lately.
Yeah, exactly. Jonathan Hugh Kwan, who played Data in here, and of course, famously, I hope I pronounced his name right. If not, I apologize. But he also famously played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And yes, I agree. It's great that he's making a comeback. I like the movie. Not one I'll rewatch, but definitely go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once for him.
It's a good movie. Again, I don't think I'll rewatch it.
Same.
Yeah. So,
all right. I was going to say, Ben, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me at my YouTube channel, Multivision Geek Gym. We have shows Monday through Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You guys can find me right here on the Northern Entertainment Group, right here on the Run Tape and the Northern Countdown.
All right. And as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. And of course, you can find me on all the shows that Ben has mentioned here, as well as Friday night at our new time at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern. We will be bringing you Blokes of Wrestling. Is moving from Saturday to Friday nights. And of course, when we do return, the squared slice of this channel is just myself and Dustin. We're both incredibly busy right now. So that is a show that unfortunately is going to be on hiatus for a little bit until we both have clear schedules. But besides that, thank you very much for watching this. Let me know what you think of Speed in the comments. And we will see you next week as we review The Goonies, man. See you then as we rewind the tape on The Goonies. I can't wait to rewind.
I can't wait to do the 12 shuffle.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that's one we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, talk to you later, guys.
Bye.